in a lot of what the NBA did yesterday, the actions it took, and some other sports teams, and see some NFL teams canceling practice today, what were discussions that you and other teammates had about today, and how you're going to proceed in light of recent events?
Yeah. Well, we had practice in the morning early, and we went ahead and had practice, and we're I think right now we're lined up to have discussions and talk about it and have open conversations about it during our team meeting this afternoon. So that's still ahead of us, but that's still to come.
So will you have discussions about maybe not practicing tomorrow?
I don't know.
So what would the discussions be like right now? Like when you after you finish with us?
I guess I don't know yet. We're gonna have these conversations in the team meeting, so I don't know.
Can you share anything?
Leighton, how would you describe how you and your teammates view the role of sports in a conversation in a week like this when we see other leagues canceling games and practices?
Yeah, I think, well, just on the platform that we have, I think you can make impacts in good ways and bad ways, regardless of what it is. So I think with what we have to deal with and the circumstances that are going around in the world right now, sports and the platform that we have right now, I mean, you can make a big impact in any way that you want to. So it's just a matter of putting it in place.
Can you share anything of what Joe Looney had to offer there when you all were wrapping up practice?
Yeah, I think Joe's one of the most amazing people I've ever met in my life, and I'm so lucky and fortunate to have him as a teammate. Just his spiritual side, and I mean, he's a man of God, and it's just awesome to see and have guys like that on the team that are like yourself, that you can talk to, that you can bond with. But he just shared with everybody that if everybody just comes to just loving each other and just caring for each other, rather than hate or it's just it's right from wrong. That's really what it is. It has nothing to do with oh, like you're bad. It's just doing right and wrong. That's all it is. And he just shared with us that if more people come closer to God and come closer together and just embrace each other and just know that we're all in this together, that's when things are going to really change.
What did you think of the Bucks and other NBA teams not playing last night, and also short lines, other NFL teams are not practicing? What did you think of those things?
That's their deal. I'm gonna let them comment on that.
Leighton, what are your thoughts of how these recent events affect your African American teammates? I know it affects everyone, and I'm sure it's affected you, but particularly your African American teammates.
Yeah, it's got to be tough on them, and we're a band of brothers out there on the field. So I mean, we have each other's back. I mean, I think it's different when we're in the locker room and we're together, we're bonding, and we're building these relationships every day. It's special, and you really get to know guys in the locker room. You get to sit down and talk to them, and you just listen. That's just listen to what they have to say, and take it all in. Like I said, and like Joe said today in practice when we prayed, it was just all coming together, listen to what each other has to say, because you can learn things from both sides. Whether you think one way, whether you want to act one way, you can still learn things, and it's just having an open heart about it.
Leighton, have you had the opportunity to participate in some of the Protest to Progress conversations or meetings with local officials? And if so, what have those experiences been like for you?
I haven't had the chance. I think there's been discussions within the team on certain things, but I have not.
Lee, I know you're rehabbing early in the off-season following the next procedure, but it seems like you had enough time to have the type of work that you wanted to so that you came into camp ready physically and in great shape, making plays. What was the process like of just getting ready physically for this season? What sort of games were you focused on once your neck was healthy?
I think it was just everything, just growing up, really just growing up as a man. Obviously, I had never really been in a position like that and an injury of that sort. So it really kind of put things in perspective for me, and just to realize to not take anything for granted, and just to be thankful for every single day that you have playing this amazing game, because God gifted me to do this. So I'm just blessed to be able to be out there every single day and do that. And so just focusing on just growing as a man, getting better physically, getting stronger. Obviously, because I got weak, I couldn't work out in that time of rehab before my surgery when I was hurt. And then I was down for a month and a half after surgery. But ever since then, it's been total full go for me. It's been a great experience learning certain things about what I can do with my body, rehabbing. Everything. It just you really want to just focus on everything, but take things slowly, one at a time, one day at a time, and just keep chipping away.
Hey, what do you like about calling the defenses, having that responsibility?
I mean, I want the weight to be on my shoulders. I want to be able to get everybody lined up. Like I said, I want to be that leader of the defense this year, and just make sure everybody's in the right spots. And just so we can fly around and make plays and get the ball for our offense. That's really what our ultimate goal is. And just to get that ball back every single chance. Every single chance the ball's in the air, we can go get it. It's free game. Putting yourself in position to make good, hard tackles where you can go after the ball as you make a tackle. Just having it on your mind at all times. Just being that leader out there, that vocal leader for them, knowing that they can lean on me, that I'm going to give them everything I got on the field. Like I said, because it put things in perspective for me last year, missing half the season and just not taking things for granted, and just knowing I got to go out there every single play and just put it on there on the line for my teammates and the coaches and just have fun doing it.
Is the transition easier since you and Jalen have been together for a couple of years?
Can you repeat that?
Is the transition a little easier to do that with Jalen because you guys have been together for a couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, we love playing football together. I think we feed off each other very well on the field, so I don't think it really matters what. I mean, we both have leadership roles, and we both have to be out there. We're the quarterbacks of the defense, so regardless of who's calling plays, we still got to get everybody lined up. But
when you're on the field and you're seeing the way you and Jalen are making plays, and then when you're in meeting rooms or you're on your iPad and you're looking back at practice film, do you feel like both you and Jalen have elevated your game since last season?
absolutely. I mean, it's with the circumstances we've had this season. I know that he's put in his work. I know that I've put in my work. But I mean, we got to go. We're ready to perform. It doesn't matter about stats. It doesn't matter about any of that stuff. We got to be out there and we got to be a coherent defense. We got to be on the same page. We got to have everybody flying around making plays. It doesn't matter if just Jalen and I are flying around making plays. Everybody's got to do that.
Leighton, what's the key to making sure your teammates are lined up in the right place given the new defense and what y'all have described as more multiple looks?
Can you say that again?
What's the key to making sure your teammates are lined up in the right spots?
Oh, yeah.
And has that been more of a challenge given the defensive scheme change?
Yeah, it's just being prepared, knowing your calls, studying before practice. Obviously, we have our install meetings before the night before, so you could think you could go home and just not worry about it. But you install new stuff the night before, and you got to be ready for practice first thing in the morning, and it's early, so like you got to get yourself going. But you got to be vocal. You can't just slowly work into it in the morning practice. You have to be like firing on all cylinders from the second the clock starts in practice. So just having fun with that, knowing that you're prepared that morning when you put the pads on to go out there and practice and get everybody lined up.
Would you say that the speed of 11 on 11 is about the same as any normal camp, or do you sense that there's maybe a little bit more to it because of no preseason games?
I think we've had a great sense of urgency this training camp so far. I know we're already towards the back end of it, but I think our urgency and getting going in the mornings every single day, just throughout the day. Our mock walkthroughs, night meetings, and more walkthroughs after those. I think our sense of urgency is amazing right now, and I think we need to keep that up. And that's another part of being a leader. We got to have that urgency. We got to have that go-getter, that relentless, just being convicted every single day to go out there and do that, and to not slough off, not to put your foot on the brake or anything, just to keep going forward. So I think we're doing a great job with that right now.
Leighton, one more non-football question. Coach McCarthy mentioned that y'all had some sort of team voting initiative education session yesterday. Was that something all of the team participated in, and what was that conversation about?
Yeah, as far as what I understood, I think all the teams around the NFL had an hour-long meeting to educate themselves or to get educated about voting and how important it is. But that's pretty much what it was. Just they named some statistics for us and pretty much explained how important it is for us to vote and just our generation and how we've kind of been known to slack off on voting. But just how important that is and how much of an impact we can make in the elections.
Leighton, it's a little strange one, but how big is Kellen Moore up in Boise and back in Idaho in general?
Kellen will always be a legend at Boise. That's as simple as that. I mean, he's a legit dude. He's the winningest quarterback in college football history. That's all there is to it. That's all I gotta say.
Leighton, you're talking about that sense of urgency. Does it feel like you're in the middle of training camp, or does it feel like you're a week and a half from starting the season?
Oh gosh, both. I mean, there's a lot going on right now, but that's the thing. We have to be urgent in everything that we do because we are so crunched on time. And I think that's going to really tell you what teams are doing good, and they've really come together as a team in this short amount of time that we've had to have in training camp to be able to go out there and perform on game day. So I think that's really going to tell you things about teams and how well they're doing or what kind of team they are when it comes to game day, and you see how they play.